Now it's night 3:30 of Arabian Nights. Morning now dawned, and Scheherazade broke off from what she had been allowed to say then when it was the 330th night. She continued, I have heard of fortunate king, that Ali said, when I sat down at the table of Jubair Umar al-Shabani, I looked hard at it and found inscribed on it the following verses. Here's that verse. Turn aside your storks. Storks were used as a parody for camels. Turn aside your storks to the spring camp of the sauce bowls. And halt at the tribe of the fries and stews. Mourn the daughters of the sand grouse, for whom I ceaselessly lament, along with what is roasted inside the chicken pie. My heart is sore for the two types of fish. On pyramids of fresh bread, by God, how fine a thing is supper, with vegetables dipped in vinegar from little jars. Is that like torsi? And also rice steeped here in buffalo milk, in which women's hands have plunged up to their bracelets. Be patient, my soul, for God is gracious, and through your means be straightened. He will bring relief. That's he's got written on his table. What do you think? This is his tablecloth. All right, stretch out your hand to the food, Jabbar told me, and console yourself by eating what we provide. By God, I said to him, I shall not eat a single mouthful of your food until you do what I've come for. And what is that? He asked. So I produced Budur's letter for him. But when he had read it and grasped its contents, he tore it up and threw it down on the ground. Ibn Mansur, he said to me, whatever others' needs you have, I shall fulfill, but not what has anything to do with the writer of this letter. For I shall not reply to it. I got up to leave him angrily, but he caught hold of the skirts of my gown and said, Ibn Mansur, although I wasn't there with you, I can tell you what she said to you. I asked him what this was, and he said, didn't the writer of the letter tell you that if you brought her a reply, she would give you 500 dinars, and if you did not, she would pay you 100 dinars as compensation for the journey? Question. I agreed that this was so, and he said, sit with me today. Eat, drink, have pleasure, and enjoy yourself, after which you can take 500 dinars for yourself. Accordingly, I sat with him, ate, drank, and enjoyed myself pleasurably, spending the evening in conversation with him. And then I asked him if there was no music in his house. For a long time now, we have been drinking without music. He told me, and then he called one of his slave girls, Shajarat al-Dur. She answered his summons and came to him from her apartment, bringing with her a lute of Indian manufacture wrapped up in a silken bag. There's the silk again. She sat down, placed the lute on her lap, and after playing 21 different variations, she returned to the first, and accompanying herself on her lute, she recited these lines. Lots of poetry. He who has not tasted the sweets of passion and its bitterness cannot distinguish union with the beloved from parting. Hmm. Hmm. So it is that whoever turns from the path of love cannot tell which part of the road is smooth and which is rough. Mhm. You agree with that? Mhm. I always used to find myself protesting against lovers until I was afflicted by love's sweetness and its bitterness. I then gulped down its bitter cup. I humbled myself before its slaves and its free men. How many a night has the beloved spent drinking with me, who sipped the sweet saliva from his lips? How short-lived was the night of our union! When evening came at the same time as dawn. Time vowed to part us, and now time has fulfilled its vow. It passed its sentence, which cannot be revoked. Who can oppose the orders of a master? When the girl had finished these lines, her master gave a great cry and fell down in a faint. I hope that God will not punish you, old man, exclaimed the girl, but it is because we feared that he might suffer this kind of fit that for a long time now we have not had music as we drank. Go off now to that apartment and sleep there. I went where she directed me, and slept till dawn, when a servant came to me carrying a purse containing 500 dinars. This is what your master promised you, he said, but don't go back to the girl who sent you here. He says, don't go back to the girl who sent you here. Don't go back to budur, and instead pretend that neither you nor we have heard anything about this affair. To hear is to obey, I said. Taking the purse, I went on my way, but I said to myself, the girl has been waiting for me since yesterday, and by God, I must go back to her and tell her what happened between me and Jubair. If I don't return, she may heap abuse on me and all my fellow countrymen. Oh, goodness, he's caught in the middle. What do you think is going to happen? What should he do? I went back and found her standing behind the door. When she saw me, she said, Ibn Mansur, you have not succeeded in doing what I wanted. Who told you that? I asked. I can tell you something else, she continued. When you gave him my note, he tore it up and threw it away, saying, Ibn Mansur, whatever others' needs you have, I shall fulfill, but not what has anything to do with the writer of this letter, for I shall not reply to her. Then you got up angrily, and he clutched at the edge of your gown and asked you to sit with him for that day, adding, You are my guest, eat, drink, have pleasure, and enjoy yourself, and then take 500 dinars. Goodness. So you sat with him, ate, drank, enjoyed yourself, spending the evening with conversation with him. Then a slave girl sang such and such verses to such and such an air, and he fell down in a faint. Goodness. Were you there with us? I asked her. And she said, Ib Mansur, have you not heard the poet's line? Lovers' hearts have eyes that see what watchers cannot see. Interesting. But the sequence of nights and days changes everything that lies in its path. Goodness. This is, he seems literally caught in the middle. What do you think of that? They predicted each other's behavior. He could just go back and forth now and collect 500 dinars. What do you think? Did he go back again? He had read budur and and mansur, and we're on red night 330, which of course followed 329. Night 330 of the Arabian Nights and Penwood Classics, 2008 edition, published, I believe, volume 2 of 1, 2, 3.